Somebody has daughters and all of a sudden they think they're a fucking feminist. Fuck you. He was fine in Parks and Recreation. But aside from that, he's human garbage.
It was like the only sitcom on Netflix with that like stars two Indian guys.
Well, you know what?
And it's good.
I actually I liked a few of Hitler's paintings.
Because the world has become so
The world's
up.
always been fucked. And everyone lives forever. Nobody ever fucking dies. Our parents will never die.
What the fuck are those pickles for? I thought you were gonna stick one of those in the
Anyway, welcome to Let's Kill Ourselves.
What's up?
We're your hosts. I'm Lord Haw-Haw, and this is Tokyo Kuntpunch.
AKA Hung Young Terrorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty fucking miserable earlier today, and then I came here and saw how miserable you were, and you're so miserable. You're
I'm
like
real fucked up.
the only person that can make me feel happy. It's like, because when I'm around anybody else, it's like I need to stay in my misery, and you don't get it. You're just not gonna fucking cheer me up. You're not gonna you don't know what I'm going through. But when I see you, it's like you're so fucking deep in it. It's like, wow, I guess I don't have it that bad. I should be grateful, right?
Yes. Well, you were also telling me earlier that you like the kids in Syria have it better than you. And that I had to disagree with you on.
Now listen, this is a very controversial idea, but I happen to think, just based on the amount of smegma that I have to constantly lick, that any Syrian kid, if they were like, do you want to get blown up or do you want to lick this much smegma
I feel like a Syrian kid would suck a smegma cock just for electricity or running water. I feel like probably.
Do you think?
And be happy for it. Yeah. I do. Because the thing is you don't have, I don't say things like that because
you make a strong point.
My problems are internal. Their problems are external. Okay. And what was one thing you learn in rehab, it's that all pain is relative.
You know what? I actually don't really know too much about that whole situation. Because I was just thinking that they were like, I can't even talk about this shit. It's like I said earlier, I'm so ugly on the inside that I just shouldn't riff. We shouldn't do this podcast because I am just a monster. I'm a horrible person.
Well, you say things.
I say things.
But it's funny. I think it's funny.
It's funny because it's fucking dumb.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't find it, you know what I mean?
That's horrible. But you know what? I came up with that shit when I was talking to an Arabic last night.
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking Arabic. That's it.
Yeah.
I asked him.
Was he offended or did he think it was funny?
He laughed, but he was trashed. Maybe it was the delivery. I think it might have been the delivery.
Yeah.
I wrote it down.
See, that's the kind of shit that like white people get more offended by in general, you know?
He didn't seem to mind when I asked if he was a terrorist. He took it pretty well.
Yeah. Well, because you clearly weren't serious.
And then I explained that I was a terrorist.
And maybe you were serious. I don't know.
I wasn't serious.
Yeah.
He had bleach blonde hair. I just seriously doubt that terrorists are running around with
What did he have,
blonde.
frosted tips or something?
He said he was trying to hide the fact that he was Arab, and that's why he got his hair bleached.
Okay.
And he was really trash, and he was like on the phone. I was at this bar across the street from the Haw-Haw.
From the what?
It was your club, the Haw-Haw Club.
Oh, the Haw-Haw Club, yeah right next to the Chuckle Hut.
It's owned by Lord Haw-Haw.
Yeah, okay.
Lord Haw-Haw's club.
Yeah.
And I went across the street to some other bar because as soon as I walked into the Haw-Haw, I had like 3 dudes looking at me like I was fucking fresh meat. And I was so depressed and dark, I didn't want to talk to any of them. So I went across the street. I sat next to this guy and he was like, sorry that I was having such a serious conversation. I was like, I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm just going over my shit. I'm about to do this open mic. And he's like, I said, what was it about? He's like, oh, it's the graphic design for our SoundCloud page, and I said, that sounds really fucking horrible. I think you should kill yourself.
Since we're already talking about how you walked into a comedy club and felt you were like fresh meat, maybe instead of the appeal of gangbang porn, we should talk about the return of Louis C.K. The triumphant return of Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't triumphant. The return, right? You heard about this. You seen this? You heard about this?
Yeah, I heard about it on the podcast whose name shall not be said, or however they say.
Let's talk about Justin Bieber or whatever it is.
It's called Two Less Lonely Girls.
Okay. Anyway, well, I don't want to hear their take on it because we're going to give our take on it. So why dilute our take with the take of people who are probably, people named Corinne,
Okay.
They've got better things. And probably John Larroquette's son is involved somehow, or the guy, Marcie, who's the woman who played the prosecutor on Night Court? Marcie Parks or Markie Post. Why do I remember that?
You shouldn't kill yourself simply because you amassed so much knowledge. I feel like you.
But the thing is, as I get older, it gets more and more irrelevant. Like, you're not even that much younger than me. You don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. So, like, when I'm talking to this Instagram model who's whatever age she is, she's going to be like, what is this guy even saying? Is he even speaking English? I was talking to my little sister's 16. I was talking to her. I was like, what's up with this internet suicide monster, Momo? She doesn't even know.
I didn't know. You had to tell me.
Yeah, but you're not a teenager. She's a teenager. She should know about it. She should at least have the decency to try to commit suicide about it.
What's your take on Louis C.K. Hunt?
Okay. Well, I don't know if you're familiar with the Comedy Cellar. Have you ever been in there?
I've heard of it. Is that in New York?
In Greenwich Village, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like the epicenter of comedy in New York.
Okay.
It's like the Comedy Store in LA, but it's more intimate because it's a small club, but it's like they all hang out in there. It's like if you went to Greenwich Village in 1962 and you went into, I don't know, the Bottom Line or whatever, and Bob Dylan is in there in the corner writing in his notebook, and fucking, I don't know, Mama Cass is sitting over there, and, one of these guys performing, it's like one of those things. You go in there and you got the different like subjugated sects of comedians. You got, Aziz Ansari sitting in the corner writing jokes like he's a young Bob Dylan or some shit, even though he's a piece of garbage.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't like him. I don't care for him.
I saw him live. He was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't care for his whole style. I don't like his voice. I don't like his delivery. I don't like his whole attitude.
Okay.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Wow.
And although he was fine in Parks and Recreation, but aside from that, he's human garbage. Okay. Anyway.
I heard his audiobook, and I saw him do this other show with this Indian guy, and it was like the only sitcom on Netflix with that like stars two Indian guys.
Well, you know what?
And it's good.
I actually I liked a few of Hitler's paintings. So.
Why do you say that? What did he do that was so bad?
When he gets with a woman. First of all, I didn't like him before that happened. But when he gets with a woman, he has this move called the claw, where he sticks his fingers down their throat.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And he doesn't call it the claw. I think the unlucky young lady that went out with him called it the claw.
You know this woman?
No, I read an article about it.
Okay.
On like she.com or whatever that fucking website was.
All right.
So anyway, Comedy Cellar, right?
Yeah.
I'm laying it out for you. He's there, you got the PC comedians in one corner. Aziz Ansari, although he's not so PC anymore, is he? Jon Stewart and whoever, and then the other corner you have like the less PC comics, like your Doug Benson or whatever, and your fucking Artie Lang and your Anthony Cumia or whoever, and they all kind of hang out there, and they all go there to try out their material because it's a very intimate club, and that's where they go to try out material. But it's all very like, you know, everyone there is like a celebrity practically. So it's like an open mic if everyone was a celebrity, is what the Comedy Cellar is like in New York. Okay, I mean that's the whole fucking Louis C.K.'s stupid show, which I don't like, by the way. Is it Doug Benson? I don't remember that guy's name. Or maybe there's a show Benson about a black butler. Was there a show called Benson about a black butler?
I don't know.
Okay.
You're asking the wrong fucking person. I've been under a fucking rock for most of my life.
I feel like that's true. So I'm going to say it's true.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm going back to that fucking cult, but go on.
What cult?
He's in Hawaii, my old master, and I've decided life is too hard and I'm tired. So
Hawaii is where cult leaders go to die. The guy who ran the Source family, the vegetarian restaurant on Sunset that became a cult, he went to Hawaii in the end of the cult's days and died in a hang gliding accident, which is one of the whitest ways you can die.
Oh, maybe we should fucking go skydiving and just like...
A lot of people kill themselves in Hawaii because they go there and they're like, this is great. And they have an awesome time for 6 days. And then it's like right before they leave, they kill themselves.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's called island fever. Something. Kalurameno or something.
Well, listen, if you kill yourself, our podcast is going to go straight through the top.
It's true. It's true.
It's a bad joke, and I'm full of them. Go on.
Yeah. Anyway, so Louis C.K., after 9 months of being in exile, after his jerking off in front of young female comedians, went on stage to do a set. And
heard about this.
Yeah, wearing a suit, and it was, I don't know. I guess he does good sets. You know, I've seen him live. Although I'd never liked his show. And I think his stuff is good, but it's like, I don't know. There's nothing like extraordinary about it. It's just like he's solid in that he's like Jerry Seinfeld. He's solid in that he's always writing new material, and it's always like passable, you know?
I like the shit with it's not, is it Janine Garofalo that played opposite him in his thing?
No.
What's her name? I forget what her name is.
Markie Post from Night Court.
That woman with the long dark, you're fucking
the short the short woman with who was also in fucking Californication or whatever, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I felt like that his show...
Or no, she's in Rescue Me, or I don't know. I forget.
His show was like all about people being good people. I feel like that's like he's always like heavily like moral in all of his episodes. It's like, oh, if you're just being shitty. Like he always likes to say, you're just being shitty.
I think he tried to. I think it was him trying to be poignant, and I don't feel like I feel like there was one episode of that show I liked, where it was the one, that other comedian who's just like a total scumbag. I forget his name, but he's okay because Louis C.K. always presented him like what you're saying, the moral thing.
Yeah.
He always presented himself as a guy who's like, oh, he's kind of a dick, but he's a good guy who's always trying to do the right thing, you know, whatever. And it's those guys who, when they get in trouble, they're fucking done.
He didn't present himself as a dick, I thought.
No, he didn't. He tried to, he'd do episodes about feminism and whatever, and he tried to present himself as like a right-thinking person. Whereas this other comedian, Doug Stanhope, that's who it is.
I read his audiobook. Yeah,
he's like, I'm just a scumbag. He's like, you know, and so if he ever like got caught from like doing something sleazy, nobody would give a shit. This
Arabic last night was saying that he used to live very close in the same apartment complex as Doug Stanhope.
Okay.
Just I wanted to say Arabic again. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing to say to impress the ladies. So Doug Stanhope was on an episode of Louis. I don't know did you see that one?
I don't really remember. I wouldn't
Okay.
remember.
It was
that.
just a shitty show.
I saw
And it
the
was
whole
the
thing,
only
though.
good episode. It was like his friend that was also a comedian that they started up together, and his friend was just like kind of a slightly below the middle comedian who toured around the country doing gigs, but nothing ever really happened with him. And he's like, okay, I'm almost 50. I'm gonna kill myself because nothing's happening, and I don't like life anymore.
Comedy? Who gives a shit about comedy, man?
Well, then what are you talking about?
My life. I'm going to end it.
And he's like, no, you shouldn't. And he's like, yeah, I didn't come to tell you so you could talk me out of it. I'm just gonna do it, and that's it. And that was the episode, and I liked it a lot. But every other episode of that show I didn't like. But there was apparently also an episode where he tried to rape somebody. So, you know,
I don't remember that.
take one. Yeah, it was. I only remember this because there was like several think pieces about it in Slate and the Daily Beast and Jezebel.
I feel like I must have been really too fucking high if I missed that.
Well, I feel like you're not up to date on like think pieces on Slate.
No, that for sure. But I think I
Okay.
would have remembered an episode about rape. So I must have been just high on acid.
It
when I
was like
watching
in the
that.
later. I stopped watching like after the second season.
So what's your take on this guy coming out back into the scene?
I don't
A-Rod?
think he should. I think he should be shunned.
You guys, another name for Lord Haw-Haw is A-Rod. If
Yeah.
anybody
Don't
wants to know.
Okay. But yeah, I don't think you should do that. You know.
You don't think you should come out? He didn't fucking do anything. It's like
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle said, if some
Yeah.
girl is flipping out because he whipped his dick out, like that girl should fucking, she should.
We live in a time where he's got to like do something. He never like said, "Oh, I'm sorry" or whatever. You know what I mean?
He did a whole apology.
He didn't do an apology. It wasn't an apology. He wrote a thing that I don't even think he said "I'm sorry" in the thing. He just said like I did some stuff that was whatever. Like he didn't actually like he didn't try to do anything, you know, to make it better.
I mean, it's like the equivalent of streaking in public. Do you need to go and apologize to every person that you ran naked across?
Yeah, usually, because you gotta,
I feel like leave or hang up if you don't like it. It's not like he fucking took their heads and hold them and made them watch him.
But what are you gonna say if you're a young female comedian and you're trying to get by? You know, and first of all, if you're a young female comedian and you're like going to do these things, it's mostly men.
Do
right?
what things?
Open mics and comedy.
Was
and
it said an
you're
open
going
mic
up
that
and
he
coming.
started
No, it wasn't
jacking
an open.
off?
It wasn't an open mic. It was
Okay.
like the Montreal Comedy Festival or something. It's like a young comedian who's like just starting up. It's like, oh my god, for the first time, I'm going to the Montreal Comedy, and there's this famous comedian who I really admire.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out his dick. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be
In a hotel room?
yeah.
Then fucking leave. You fucking retard. Like, oh, cry about it. File a fucking lawsuit. I mean, I think it's stupid.
I think they didn't actually. They didn't file a lawsuit
Because there's no reason to. It's just like
I think it's scummy.
I feel like it's so fucking tame compared to.
It's tame, but it's not exactly consensual. You know,
Then leave.
because there's
You're
a
in
power
his-
differential. There's a
You're
power
in his
differential.
hotel room, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he likes to fucking jack off. Then you can fucking leave. That's how I feel.
You might be the wrong person to ask about this, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
But I will say the girls of Two Less Lonely Girls agree with me on this.
all I know is I like the Me Too thing because just a lot of people I don't like are getting like.
Yeah,
fucked in
that's not the
public.
right reason to like the Me
I
Too
love it.
movement.
I love it. You know,
You just-
and the thing is that my sexual practices are so iffy and dangerous that I will never get Me Too'd because I'm always very, very careful about how shit is done. Like I make sure everybody's fucking on board with everything, you know? And everyone knows I'm kind of a sleaze scumbag. So it's like, it's fine. There you go.
Don't you like advertise that?
Yeah, I do. You know? So it's got to be, you know, I'm not trying to present myself as some kind of like holier than now. Oh, I got an FX show and I'm going to try to tackle the poignant topics that are plaguing our society, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck him, honestly. You know? Somebody has daughters and all of a sudden they think they're a fucking feminist. Fuck you. You know?
I love how angry he is.
Yeah.
He wears it well. Do you see this? He wears it well. He's pissed off.
I understand women because I hate myself more than women. Because women are told to hate themselves by society. And men aren't. But I have a level of self-loathing. When I was going to rehab, I had an option to go to a rehab that was all male. And somebody was like, oh, it's great to help change my life. But it's like, I don't feel like men can identify with the level of self-loathing that I fucking have. I don't feel, they just don't get it. They don't fucking get it. Women get it. That's why I have mostly female friends. So, there you go.
Do you guys want to kill yourself?
This is a laugh fucking riot tonight,
Do you guys want to kill yourself?
This is a laugh goddamn riot.
That's
Maybe
what
Louis C.K.
we're-
was the wrong topic. Right, Risk? Right, buddy? Kids,
See,
if you're
are
listening,
we living in
it
the
gets-
fucking communist Stalin regime?
It gets better, kids. It gets better.
Oh, yeah.
Don't kill yourself.
It gets better.
It gets better.
Stay in school and get straight A's and make sure you get a 1540 on your SATs because then he will definitely have a great life.
I think they grade it differently now. So the numbers
They
are
went
different.
back to the 1600.
Did they? Did you fuck a 17-year-old or something? Is that how you heard about this?
So did you want to talk about Louis C.K. because you fucking hate him so much and you wanted to vent about that?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's interesting in and of itself.
Yeah.
You just fucking hate him. You wanted to just...
Actually, no, you know what? I don't have strong feelings of hatred towards him. There are other people. Like, I hate Aziz Ansari much more than I hate him. Louis C.K. is actually like... He's like Jerry Seinfeld. It's like not my cup of tea, but he's like inarguably a very productive, funny person.
I don't think I could ever be a really successful person because I say stupid shit like what I said earlier about Syria. Okay, yeah, back to that Instagram thing. My account got deleted for various different reasons. Speaking of why we could possibly get banned. So
Because he was showing pictures of your own feces.
okay, my feces,
Yeah.
which apparently were quite swamp-like with moss. Just in case you guys are eating right now. And we had no hate speech, which I don't know what the fuck I said that was hate speech. But I did express a lot of hatred for other people.
Your
Targeting
mother.
people.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, glorifying self-harm. That was a big one.
Did you do that? How did you do that?
I don't know. I think just the fact that I was like living out of my car in a storage unit and like, you know, that was like glorifying self-harm.
That's probably wasn't not what it was.
No?
No.
And I was like doing a lot of nudie pics. But it's like you can't get away
Have you
with
ever done
those.
cutting?
No.
You've never done cutting.
But you can't get away with the nudie pics unless you're like a celebrity. If you're a celebrity and you put up some like nips,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it's art.
Right.
But if you're a fucking plebeian and you put them up, it's like, get this hobo down. Yeah.
I'd be like before a War Crimes Tribunal in, you know, where's that city where they have the War Crimes Tribunal? It's like in Belgium or Netherlands or something. The Hague. I'd be in The Hague at a War Crimes Tribunal.
Let's get more alcohol maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
Should I sing a song for the kids at home?
Sing a song for the
while
kids
you-
at home. I'll make us another drink
Oh,
here.
great.
You know what I don't like about comedy? And this is what actually makes it hard for me to do comedy, is that I don't like how in our culture, how revered it's become as an art form. Or not an art form, but a form of expression. It's like it has the reverence that, you know, I don't know, reciting poetry in ancient Greece had.
It's because we're all so fucked.
And it's garbage.
It's because we're all so depressed that we need to laugh. That's why it's like huge now, because the world has become so
The world's
fucked
always
up.
been fucked.
Yeah, but even more so now, because
No.
now everybody's able to read about how fucked up everything is on the internet.
Everything's okay now because there's running water, you know? And everyone lives forever. Nobody ever fucking dies. Our parents will never die.
Eat my beef, yeah. Squeeze my meat. Are we done? Are we ready? What the fuck are those pickles for? You're a dill pickle guy. I like dill as well.
Yeah.
Sweet.
What other kind? I don't know, these sweet pickle people. What was it? Sweet pickles? That was like a thing you could order, and like a stork would come to your house in a van. Like give you like a box or something. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Like a stork and a bear
I
would
don't.
show up at your house in a van.
Here comes the Sweet Pickles bus.
Smart moms know how kids' minds grow upon sweet pickles.
Here's the time in our show where I'm gonna try to call an ex-girlfriend. Where's my phone?
I'll call her.
Where's my phone?
Let me give me
I mean,
her number.
she's not gonna answer a call that she doesn't know. I called her from a random number. I called her from my number.
right,
She didn't answer either. Why is she gonna answer your
All
number?
right, fine.
So, anyway, I think we're about done with this episode.
Yeah,
We
we're
talked-
done. You
talked
know
about
what?
some shit. You know,
I think we should kill ourselves based on the fact that this episode sucked so much cock.
it wasn't that great. Although I don't know.
But you know what? At the same time, it's like a little bit of like ASMR bullshit. It's just like people don't want to listen to their own fucking shitty thoughts, so they'll
Yeah.
just put on other people's shitty thoughts because life sucks, and they just
Yeah.
like they don't want to be alone. So that might be some people that just want to listen to this shit.